I love writing music, and the reason that I love writing music is because I love all the stuff that I listened to when I was a kid, or anything that I hear today that inspires me. I still get a buzz off that, and it's not like you want to create something that yourself that gives you that sort of buzz that you got when you were rocking out to Led Zeppelin 4 and Black Sabbath and you know, Maiden and stuff, or Elton John, or whatever. You want to be able to be a part of creating that magic, and then as you start to do that, and we've been able to do it for a while, you realize that you're just like those guys, man. You know, and that's a cool thing. You become what inspired you to become that, you know, and you know, they end up meeting a lot of these guys and you become friends, and then there's a whole another generation of kids coming up, man, that are totally doing the same thing. It's been a beautiful thing. Music has saved my life. It saved his life. And anytime it was bad in my family or at home, or something went down, or somebody died, or I mean, there's so many moments in life where it looked bleak, I felt hopeless or whatever, and I always had music. And even if I put it down, which we did put it down, when you go back to it, it's still there for you, you know. And that's a rare thing too. Sometimes that's not always the case, but it's always been there for us. And my friends have always been here for me, and we've been able to do all that together, and we all feel pretty unified in that. That's why we got together in the first place, you know. And yeah.
And that music, you know, that we did the, you know, the four of us when we started out, took on a life of its own, you know, and you can't make that happen. You can only take it so far, and that's something that you don't foresee, you know. And in hindsight, you're like, whoa, you know. But it took on a life of its own, and not from us trying to serve it and work it, and people trying to ram it down people's throat. It's been passed on, and people keep picking it up and refining it and identifying with it. And that's pretty cool, and that's another motivating thing for us to be doing this. You know, the audiences have changed. It's a much broader audience, and it's really cool. You know, the whole business is completely different, and that's interesting because we've always been so in control of what we do. You know, we've always had our hand on the wheel. We've never been like directed by outside forces, and just the whole, how do you even do this anymore, you know? It's such a weird thing. Nobody seems to know. So that, since, you know, we've always controlled that and directed, even in the years when we weren't talking to anybody else or the band wasn't operating, we still control the business. We still deal with it weekly, daily, you know, anything. And so that's interesting too. I mean, it's what we do, you know. I mean, like I said, we've spent more than half our lives devoted to this one thing. We started with our friends, Alice, and we even if we weren't sitting here playing this, we'd be at home doing it in one way or the other, and just out of some weird, nice thing that organically grew, here we are sitting here again.
It's kind of a funny thing, like this end up where what he was just talking about it being a business and it being a real thing that we take care of. Funny thing is we started doing this so we didn't have to have a job, or you know, didn't have to have a job, and also, like, you know, your parents are totally like worried because you're going to be a bum because you won't have a job, and actually it's turned into be a pretty cool job, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. It's something that you have to attend, and all the lessons that you learn from your folks when you're a kid, you know, hard work, effort, putting stuff in, when you get out what you put in, all of that stuff, you know, you learn those lessons kind of doing this, and it's kind of turned into like a regular job. And what a cool unregular job to have.
And the skills set you pick up across the way too, if you pay attention.
A lot of different stuff.
Yeah, like joking about being an accountant. Well, we know a lot about that now. You know a lot about a lot of things that you wouldn't have any idea about.
A little bit about law, a little bit.
Yeah, you know, you learn a lot over the years if you pay attention. I've you know, there's a lot of people that don't, and then you hear these horror stories like they didn't, and so that maybe their thing spins out of control. But we're just so kind of on it, and I've always cared so much about it and it's been such a kind of a personal thing that we do that you slowly develop these, you know, a knowledge of a lot of things that you completely were out smoking weed in the parking lot when they were trying to teach you in school, you know.
Right.
but in, you know, there's a lot to it. There's a lot that goes into doing this stuff, man.
We've got Sean and Jerry, Alice in Chains here, our guest on The Voice of America. New album coming out September 29th, the first new album in 10 years.
14.
14 years?
Yeah.
14 years.
It's been a while. Let's
Been a
just leave it at a
while. Been a
while.
long time.
Let's just say it's been a while.
And black gives way to blue.
Yeah.
Explain that.
It's
Well,
two colors.
It is two colors. One's really black, and the other one you can kind of see.
And it gives away to
Yeah,
blue.
yeah, it does kind of fade into
So
it.
why'd you choose that name?
I just think it was pretty appropriate. It's from the song, obviously, and nothing could be more appropriate than to title this record a song that means so much from us to someone who means so much to us, which is Lane. So that's just a no-brainer starting point. But it means it's a lot more than just that too. And I think we've all experienced making plenty of mistakes in life and things ending up not even where you expected them to be, and ending up in a really black place, and as we've kind of gone through this process, we've kind of grown a lot as individuals and also as a group, as people, and things have gotten a little better, and we've worked through a lot of hard choices and a lot of harsh realities, and things have gotten a little bit better, and that's always going to hurt, losing him. That's never going to go away ever, and it's never going to be okay. But you deal with it. You make a peace with it, and you continue to move on, and things start to lighten up a little bit. So it's kind of a reference to that too.
And how does Elton John come into play on the new album? I mean, I know he's playing the piano, the keyboards, but where, what song, what track? How
He's
does this all
on that
come
one.
He's
like
on that
If We'd Have
song.
Blue.
Yeah.
And when on the demo, there was one where there was Jerry's old guitar tech had put a little keyboard line down, and then there was one without it on there. And when we were doing the album version, there was a discussion of should we put keyboards on it or not, or leave it the way it is. And we're like, yeah, that'd be cool. We should try it. Who are we going to get?
Play it?
Yeah, who's going to play it? And a guy that's been with us for 20 years and still here. Used to work for Elton for a while. And he gave us the old, you should call Elton. He pipes out of the peanut gallery, and we're like, yeah, really, and he's like, no, seriously, you should. So I think Jerry
He might do it.
Yeah, so Jerry, I think, sent him an email or something, seeing if he's even interested. And he said, yeah.
And we sent him a demo too.
Yeah, and sent him a demo of the tune, and he responded. He got what the song was about. He liked the song, and he said he would do it. And we were like, wow. I mean, it was really that simple, but I mean, it was such a fitting thing for the end of the record. The record had been recorded, and because of scheduling, he's a pretty busy guy because he's Sir Elton John. So
Sir Elton John.
So
yeah.
we'd already done all of our stuff on the track, knowing that he was going to do his, and so like the record we'd actually put it all down and everything several weeks prior, and then we went to Vegas while he did his thing, and it was such a surreal and beautiful, fitting thing, just like a cherry on top of like, wow, this is real. It was really bizarre. I remember, we were like little kids, but you're trying to not act, goofy and stupid. And I'd met him several times over the years, and you'd met him.
Yeah.
And so, that wasn't that. It was like he's playing on this song. I remember, like, before he got there, sneaking in, going into the studio, and there's this piano, and they'd had to chart it out the song so he could play it, and we were just like,
Just a piano with our song.
yeah, and
on it.
and what that song's about, we're just looking at it like, whoa, that's weird, And then while it was going on, it was just such a really beautiful thing. And then being reminded something that we already knew, but so much going on that Lane's stepdad telling us that he took Lane to the,
Elton was his first
his
concert.
first concert when he was 7 years old. I mean, it really kind of reaffirmed that all that we had done and gone through was. That for him to take his time and do that, and for all those kind of things to line up, it was kind of a real reaffirming and surreal thing. It was like, wow.
He's one of the prime influences for me to even play music too. So, and for all of us, he means a lot to us. So, there's a lot of things lining up there, that made that right.
Is this a world
and again,
tour?
it just kind of happened.
That's the guy that
just kind of
made
happened.
the,
Yeah, it's his fault.
Right there.
Is this a world tour?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Our plan is to go anywhere where people want to see us if make it happen. So that's all being mapped out as we speak. This is a pre-album go up there.
Pre-launch.
Yeah, before the record. We're going to go around until the record comes out, and we're going to play and make sure our gear works.
And then I think we go back to
remember
Europe
our
after
songs.
that, and maybe do I think we're talking about possibly Europe, South America, Australia, and then coming back to the States. And yeah, it'd be great.
Whatever.
Well, congratulations to you guys. I guess you just won the Kerrang Icon Award as well, and all the other awards that you continue to rack up. Alice in Chains are back in business, and we're glad to hear that. And the new album is called Black Gives Way to Blue. Go out and get a copy, get on their website, log on, and buy that album. Thanks, guys, for being a part of the Voice of America and broadcasting to the world and giving us the great rock music.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.